eventually people just get tired of hearing others complain and they just tell them to shut the fuck up. What's going on, everybody? Della back, and I'm here with another rant. And this is about something I am very familiar with, and that's video games. Yes, I am a gamer. I've been playing video games for the longest time. I've been playing video games since Nintendo, Super Mario, and Duck Hunt. And you had the freaking little gun, and you bop, 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 shoot the ducks, and the dog comes out if you miss, and you go, hee, hee, hee. And you want to shoot the dog, but you can't shoot the dog. But, don't call Peter on me. But there's this thing with game journalists. It is constantly complain and tear down these game developers so they can add things or make things in video games that don't work, or find a way to find something wrong in a game that really isn't a problem. And we start to see it more and more, especially with this climate of like political correctness and racial divide. And I'm getting really tired of it. Like, I just want to play video games. I don't want to deal with real life issues in video games, like so blatantly in there. Like sometimes they could drop it just a little, like they do like a little sprinkle that you gotta pay attention. Like, oh, I got it. Look at any Kojima game. Half the time you over there running around, you like, I gotta destroy Metal Gear. I'm gonna choke some people out. But he sprinkles a little, truth in there. Like, the government is messed up. They don't care about you. They making babies and super babies. And it's like, oh man, I just caught that. After I just killed this giant robot. You see it in all types of media, but when it's done correctly, you barely notice it and you go, okay, I get it. But when it's a shove in your face, it's annoying. And what's really pisses me off about game journalism is that they cater to these people who don't want to do anything in video games but just like run through it, be done, and go on to the next thing. And you see it with a lot of streamers, and it's very frustrating because a lot of streamers just jump on bandwagons of new games because it's a new game and everybody's going to be playing it, and I got to get those views. Got to get the views to be the next Ninja or Tim or whoever you want to be. They got to play that game. They got to flood it, play it, and then complain about it because it's taking too long for me to get past this, and I don't have time to learn these moves, skill sets, and all this stuff. I'm like, just shut up. But what really annoys me about game journalism is that they just complain. They complain, and nothing seems to ever be good enough. They're not looking at the game's story, the graphics, or anything. They just complain about the most minuscule shit. And I don't get it. And it's very freaking annoying. All right? So let's look at some of these articles that I've pieced together. So this one comes from Kotaku. Kotaku has been just hot garbage. Hot garbage. Like, holy shit. I remember when Kotaku was putting out good news, but then I guess they hired a whole bunch of freaking soy boys and soy girls and soy people that I don't know. But this comes from that newest hit game, Lost Ark. Lost Ark isn't that new. That game has been out for like a couple years in Korea. We just got it in America, but already it's a problem. And this comes from Zach. Zach is a dude, and he doesn't like boobs. Because Lost Ark deception of female characters feels like a decade out of date. And he complains about the female avatars looking sexy or fighting in revealing clothing. Mind you, not all the clothing in the game is that revealing. Certain armor pieces, yes, but there's more high-level armor pieces that cover the whole body. So what are you talking about, Zach? Did you just play certain portions of the game and complain about it? Let's not forget, all the male avatars are buff diesel dudes. They're super buff and super diesel. Why? They all have 8-packs. I don't have 8-pack. I'm not sitting there going, this is a misrepresentation of how men look. Men don't really look like that. Men are really that strong, buff, and muscular looking. They are weak and fragile, and they look different ways. No man has ever complained about that. None. We go, damn, I wish I looked like that. That's what I did. I was like, damn, I want to look buff like He-Man. I want to be buff like the guys in G.I. Joe. I want to get like that. So what are you talking about, Zach? Did you play the game, or did you just play a portion of the game like, oh, the deception of women is still the same and blah, 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 blah. Like, come on. Like, get over it. They did the same thing with freaking, they didn't do the same thing, but they kind of made a complaint about the new Horizon that's coming out. Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West, that's the new game coming out. Remember, people got upset there was like a small group of men of beta males who complained about how Aloy like character design was changed. They made her look like kind of chunky and something or whatever. But I was just like, whatever. I don't care. You know, I don't get how she would be able to put on weight in a wasteland full of just like not very many organic creatures, just like dinosaurs. But whatever. I don't care. You know, don't care. I just want to play the game. Don't care if it's a woman, because screw it. It's a woman. No problem there. I played Tomb Raider. I played Bayonetta. I played all those games with female leads, and I love them. I have no problem with it. But I digress. They still found a way to make a complaint about it. And they said, Horizon Forbidden West review, Sony has done it again. But should it do something new? And what they're complaining about is there's no attempt to, what's that? I can't even see it. Investigate or explain Native American appropriation either. Yes, they're claiming culture appropriation on a game where mankind has reverted back to living in caves and tall huts and trees like freaking cavemen, but the culture appropriation. Oh, because you know they wear some headdresses and stuff that are similar to Native Americans. And they're going to complain about culture appropriation. When does it end? When does it end? The game is literally about mankind being blown to pieces by themselves, like destroying themselves, you know, with all that war and shit. They went living underground, living in caves, and there's robot dinosaurs. There's literally Dinobots from Transformers walking around. Like, they reverted back to ancient civilized ways, uncivilized ways. I don't know words, but you get what I'm saying. They regressed. They decided to go back to the old ways, like the cavemen, throwing rocks, putting rocks on sharp stones, or they get like some of the technology and they integrate and stuff, and they made tribes and everything. You know, that's what people did back when it was the Earth was like still in Pangea. You know, Pangea, when you know that the theory that everything was connected and it was broke apart because of the Great Earthquake, whatever. I believe in Pangea. We all come from Africa. We all black. Shut up. But they complain about that. Like, first you were saying that these beta males don't like playing female characters, men hate women, and blah 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 blah. Unrealistic design for women shouldn't be in the game. She shouldn't look like supermodel. She should look like this, and it's man's fault. Then the game comes out, and you sit there and go, they're doing culture appropriation. You can't win. You can't win. Here's another game I'm going to talk about, Sifu. I have not played the game Sifu yet, but from what I've seen on the reviews, really good gameplay, really good mechanics. It's not an easy game. You got to learn things, and I like that in the game. If you die, you kind of age up and go back to that area. You age up. So the more you die, the older you get. And the older you get, you know, you get more experience in fighting, but your body is really fragile. So, and the only way to like kind of like de-age, you got to beat like stronger people, whatever. But really good game, positive reviews. But that doesn't make the game journalists nice. Game journalists are not happy about the game because you know why? And that's great that Sifu already seems to be receiving a warm reception in China. The birthplace of martial art movies and which it takes inspiration from is awesome. However, the criticism others have for the game cannot and should not be written off because essentially some Chinese people gave it a thumbs up, nor does the fact that only white guys made this game not being strictly correct in no way invalidates people's distaste over seeing white people telling non-white stories. You can't win. Make a good game. People who the game are based off of and they're showing the respect to, they're like, this game is not bad. This is pretty good. We like it. We dig it. Oh, but it misrepresents the Chinese people because only white people made it. There was no Asian people involved. It was a game made by white people in a place where there's predominantly white people. I think it was like a Norwegian company or something. And the game is stealing from Chinese people and blah blah blah. Like, you know what's gonna happen? This is what's gonna happen. Eventually, game developers are just gonna make games and have predominantly white men or white women. And then say, if you want representation, you make your own company and you make your own game. How about that? Because nothing pleases you. Nothing pleases you game journalists or you so-called gamers who say the game is all about the game and story when you look at such minuscule things. Oh, it doesn't have enough black characters. It doesn't have enough female characters. It doesn't have enough trans characters, gay characters, this character, that character, furry character. Like, it doesn't have enough of that. Like, what do you want? Look at Fortnite. Go play Fortnite. Fortnite has everything. You could freaking be Spider-Man versus Darth Vader versus Yoda versus freaking Master Chief versus freaking Jinx from League of Legends. You could do everything in Fortnite. Go play Fortnite. It has a plethora of characters, no cultural appropriation, none of that. Go play that. It's a mismatch of shit. Go play Roblox or something too. You cannot constantly sit there and berate and say the stupidest things to these game developers and companies and expect them to give a shit. You cannot. Because eventually they're just going to say, screw it, we're not going to make games. We're just going to do what we want and screw everybody else. Everything is a problem, it seems. Everything. And these game journalists aren't helping. You game journalists aren't real journalists. You're just a bunch of people who cry, whine, and complain, and I'm sick of it. Stop. It's time for people to start telling these game journalist companies to shut up. Just shut up. I don't care. Shut up. You're getting a game for free. All right. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. Tell me a synopsis about the story. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you hated. Don't tell me you hated the game because it wasn't enough white people or black people or Asian people or this type of people or the game was only made by freaking X people. I don't care. I don't care. I care about the story and gameplay. If the character is well written, I don't care who made it or developed it. I don't care. I don't look for representation of a character because they look like me or you know, they're the same color as me. You think I have to look at every black bald character in the game because they look like me? You think my favorite superhero is Luke Cage? No. I don't give a shit about Luke Cage. My favorite superhero is the Hulk. He's a giant green guy who breaks shit. My favorite villain, Dr. Doom. A man who has his own country and he hides his face because he's ugly. If I have a favorite black superhero, you know what it is? Spawn. Mr. Terrific. The Blue Marvel. Icon. I bet you none of you guys know those characters' names because it's like, oh, Icon, who's that? It doesn't matter. Black video game characters? I'm going to say Kratos is black. Kind of black. I think he's black. And even Barrett from freaking Final Fantasy VII. He was cool as shit. Even the guy from Final Fantasy 13, I forgot the guy's name. The guy with the fro. But I loved him too. These game journalists are just whining about the stupidest things that I'm so sick of it. Like, we have to stop. Just play the game. Just shut up. Play the game. If you don't like it, don't play it. Be sure to like and subscribe. Subscribe and enjoy your day, guys. I'll see you in the next one. See, I'm so frustrated. I don't even know what